Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM, Victoria, and we're gonna play D&D tonight. But before we play D&D, we're gonna do some little housekeeping tasks, which is basically just announcements and then a recap. So, Kristy, if you could be so kind as to roll the announcement clip.
Good evening, and welcome to the show. Now, here's a word from our sponsors. Little Dragon Core is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. I mean, look at all these pretty dicey boys. Head on over to littledragoncorp.com and enter the coupon code BONUS for 15% off your order. That's BONUS. Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Syrinscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register. Go to Syrinscape.com to find out more. Thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some additional music that we use here on Thursday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rights, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Please check out our other games. We stream almost every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules as well as homebrew games, and some of our games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Come watch all of our VODs over on our YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month. Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. And now, back to the show.
Oh no, did that get on? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you, Kristy, for your amazing pre-recorded ad reel. The chat loves it.
Thanks.
Maybe we should give it out to people. I don't know.
I gotta update it.
There's an ad reel that happens in the Will BRB screen too.
Yeah,
but I think it's like a different one. I don't know. But yeah, it's nice. It's very helpful. And you know what else is helpful is having the lovely and amazing and intelligent and talented and kind and funny Ink around to do our recaps, which I am going to ask him to do now.
Those are, in fact, all words that have been used to describe me. And I will put that on my Hinge profile. Thank you, Victoria.
My goodness.
Why? Wait. What is profile?
Whoa!
Wow, that's crazy. Last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight, the party awoke from various dreams that they had experienced while trying to find a moment of rest in the very tumultuous land of Yon. The most shocking of which being Saoirse, who upon waking from her dream turned stark white and collapsed back onto the ground. Her curse that she had let the party know about seeming to take hold sooner than the party had hoped. In an attempt to try and stabilize her and possibly cure her, the party racked their heads together of what they could tell about curses, quickly surmising that a curse from Lady Titania herself is not one that they were going to break in any regard. So a combination of a little bit of magic, a little bit of herbs, and a little bit of love, Saoirse was stabilized, placed upon a floating disc where her body just kind of flopped.
Gary's mod physics
Wait,
flopped
I
around.
Clover up, I Clover up.
But the party decided that perhaps now would be the time to leave Yon and check in on some of the other realms that they hadn't in a while, most specifically Hither, where their journey had begun. Conversing with all three of their guides, they were able to find a path through the mists that would lead them out of Yon right back to Hither. And the party was able to, with want in their hearts, manifest and return to the inn at the end of the road where they met back up with Sue, paid for Saoirse to have her own room. Sue extending the kindness to actually take her to, I believe, Sue's own room in the inn where she could be watched over. The party then set about checking back in with a lot of the NPCs that they had met over their adventure, who have come to gather here. What was once a quiet inn of just a few colorful characters is now a boisterous business of colorful colorful characters still. We have checked back in with Black Donald, who seems to be sort of settled with his not quite so human form. Dawn and Ego spoke with Captain Baha to finally pay back what Baha had told us long ago of if there was a way to traverse the mist and get him back to his ship, he would be able to give a rather interesting reward. And while we have not figured out how to clear the mists, we did share with him the information of how to get back to his ship. In exchange, Baha says that his ship will freely traverse the party. And also a extra little gift, a magical tattoo that Dawn received that would allow him to cast the sending spell, a means for which he can get back in touch with his family and check in on them from time to time, whether in the Feywild or otherwise back in Waterdeep. At this time, with all of these interesting folk here, Clover decided that she would try to play a little bit of matchmaker, creating a painting of Saoirse and writing down her likes and dislikes and handing it out, passing it around to the various members of the inn to see who would like to possibly go on a date with her, trying to help find her possible true love. Ego spoke with a new member of the inn, who I believe is named. Oh, she's got just a simple tiefling name. Joy. Oh. I had it right. A traveler from the material plane who seeks the most extravagant and rare pieces of clothing from all around, has found herself here from the Witchlight Carnival and is just sort of here to stay. She is not an adventurer of any kind, so she kind of is just super positive and hoping that everything works out. And seeing her as a possible good candidate, was also introduced to the painting of Saoirse, and Joy seems very excited to get to meet Saoirse in person and possibly get to know each other a little better. With all of that said and done, the party decided that they would check in on the state of downfall, of which it seems the Harengon have moved in and joined forces with them, as well as in their quest for democracy, the Bullywugs have progressed into a kind of colonial stage, and they are still voting on things, though they do imprison people that don't win the vote. So, you know, we're getting there. We're working on it.
It's small.
The beheadings have slowed.
The beheadings have slowed and assassinations have gone way down. Now they're voted on, which is great. The party also went to check in on the Watcher, see how he's doing, where it seems Karma's still doing okay, and the Watcher is occasionally visited by Mr. All right himself. Just fishing. Off gunk. Just fishing and chilling and fishing some more. So with everyone checked in on and everyone seemingly okay. I should say, Don, using his power as Eternal Emperor, did want to get the bullywugs out working on those wells to see if we could get those repaired. But it was time for the party to return to the inn again and check on their 2 other party members and see how they are doing.
That it was, and that time it now is. But before we get into it, thank you to Kristy and to Ink for your contributions to the stream. You may have D6 Bardic Inspiration for helping me out, so that I don't have to yap at these people all night long like I'm about to. Slightly less yapping. Bro, I can't talk tonight. That's about to happen a whole lot. I hope everyone's ready.
So ready.
Okay, so as the party is heading, as the check-in on everyone party is kind of doing their rounds and then eventually making their way back to the inn at the end of the road, wherever she may be, we are going to jump back a little bit to Aurum and Saoirse, who were in Sue's room at the inn, with Aurum kind of watching over Saoirse to just like make sure everything was okay. And Saoirse passed the heck out from a lot of things. But yeah, so Aurum, you can kind of like settle down on the floor or in like an armchair in the room here and sit, maybe like reorganize your bindle. Sue will come in and will chat with you. She'll bring you like coffee or tea or something a little bit stronger if you want. She does love to have a glass of sherry at times with Dawn, and is willing to offer you whatever beverage you might like. And she will just kind of sit with you and, putter back and forth from the kitchen to the room, bringing in like different herbs. And she actually at one point brings like an entire pot of fresh stew in, and then begins taking all of these herbs that she has been grinding up in her mortar and bro, he's really activated right now. Please relax. Oh god, he's trying to attack the wall. Okay, he's being crazed. But she grinds up all of these in a very like methodical fashion, and then I'm kind of laggy.
I got it too. It's not.
You're back. You're back.
Okay, cool. I can hear the music and the soundscape bot are also lagging. Oh god.
I think
Okay.
it's Discord side.
Uh-oh. Yeah, everything's... Hang on. Technical difficulties. I think I lost everyone. Hang on. Give me 1 second here, guys. Yeah, Discord's dying. Shit. I'm gonna disconnect really quick. I'm not gonna take a break because I think maybe this will fix it.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? What is happening?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Did that work?
Let's do the time warp again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I need to show.
Oh no!
During that moment.
No!
That
Yo,
was
everybody gets me!
Yeah.
Everybody gets... Oh my god, the chat did it too!
Yep.
Listen, you know what? I'm not even mad because that happens to me all the time at work. I have coworkers that have entire like folders of fucked up little screenshots they've taken of my face while it froze in Zoom calls, so I'm used to it.
We're back.
And now I'm gonna have to make even more ridiculous faces. Hello, everyone. But yes, so she prepares this stew and she ladles up a bowl for you, puts it in front of you with a big wooden spoon, ladles up another bowl and sets it on the bedside table and tells you, you know, honey, I'm not really one for a whole lot of magic, but at the end of the day, I just think that food can be really healing for people. So you just eat up. You look stick thin right now, honey. Have you been eating enough? We gotta fatten you up.
Well, I currently have a bad liver, I think.
A bad liver?
Yeah, look, I'll lift my shirt and show like my yellow tinge.
Oh. And she will look at it. Natural 20. Oh, yeah. You're looking pretty jaundiced. I can kind of see it in the whites of your eyes. The whites of your eyes ain't so white anymore. They're kind of yellow.
Yeah, I I got hit pretty bad. But it's all right. Everything's going to be okay.
Well, I've never tried to heal a liver that looked that bad with food, but you just eat this bowl of stew right here, and I think you'll be feeling a lot better for a little while anyway. And when your sweet friend wakes up, she's gonna eat a bowl of stew also and feel a lot better. Sorry if I'm like a little out of it tonight with the RP guys. I'm like tripping over my words.
Oh, it's okay. I will eat this soup. Thank you for the lemon tea.
Oh,
you've been great.
Of course, honey. And you know what? If you need anything from me at all, if you need any food, if you want extra blankets for your room, if you just want somebody to talk to and spend time with, I am here for you. Like I am all of my guests. You know, you and your friend Dawn are just so lovely. You're just so polite. I love chatting with you. You know, meeting these worldly young people helps keep me young too. So
you're pretty lovely yourself. You take good care of your
you
people that stay here.
What a charmer. You're gonna make me blush.
He's so thirsty.
She is. And she will sit with you and just like chat. You know, she asks you, I feel like she's probably asked you in the past already, like about, you know, your life and like where you came from. And so she kind of like picks back up where she left off and starts asking you about all the people in your life. I think you actually told her that you're married.
Yeah, I did. Because she got upset.
She was maybe like a little like crestfallen, but she asks you, you know, to tell her more about like how you and your partner met, as well as like your friends, asks you about what your favorite food is to eat, you know, where you're from, and just spends the time like chatting with you.
I think I'll be honest to all of her questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, and she's a very good listener. You know, she does like jump in occasionally with like the weird little like southern platitude like statement, and or like relates a lot of things to like food analogies, and is like, well, you can't take a cake out of the oven before it's ready, or stuff like that. Like, but you know,
I think Aurum doesn't understand those at all, so it's just like, yeah.
Like, souffles. She's like, you know, sometimes a souffle just falls. I don't even know what a
souffle is, but yeah.
Well, I'll have to make you some. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll do souffles for dinner tonight. When your friends come back, I'll get started on that so that everybody has souffles for dinner. Do you think anybody else has had a souffle before?
I have no idea, but she probably has.
Oh, look at her. There's a lot of color coming back. And
she got color coming back?
Yeah, so as you turn back to her, the last like couple of hours that you've spent, you know, eating stew and chatting with Sue and her stew, a lot of the color has started to return to Saoirse. It's not all at once. It starts at her fingertips, at the tips of her ears, her toes, and is slowly like working back up her extremities, almost like little like vines that are like curling up and like swirling over
Julie,
Oh,
she would be in her winter form, so it's probably like snowdrops. And the color coming back is still pretty pale.
it's still pretty pale, but I think there's a level of like vitality to it. Like there's a little bit of a
Well, 'cause
blush.
she got that like opalescent kind of.
Yeah, so she goes from being completely like monochromatic white to a little bit more color coming back, shades of I think some of her clothes have color on them in her winter form of like Aurora Borealis.
Green. Yeah.
And I believe her hair has a little bit of blue in it possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So you start seeing the color coming back. And eventually Sue will say that, you know, she has to like get back and tend to customers, but to just like come out and find her if you need anything.
Okay.
And leaves you in the room. Is there anything that you would like to do while it's kind of just the two of you in here? I mean, Saoirse just passed out, so it's really just you. Is there anything you would like to do?
I mean, I've been thinking a lot, so I think I'm gonna try to look at her really hard and think about the dragon eyes I saw in the lake.
You're looking at Saoirse
Yeah.
and thinking about the dragon eyes? Okay, and what are you trying to figure out?
I'm just
or
trying to
work
see if
through?
maybe like my eyes are dragon eyes now or something. So I'm just trying to see if I can see something different than I normally can.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Hold on.
Sam did just say, like, try stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
something will happen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So 7 plus 7 for a 14.
Okay, you focus super hard and stare at her until like your eyes water. And then eventually you have to like blink some of like the tears away. It doesn't seem like your vision has changed
Dang it.
in any way that is perceivable to you. Your sense of smell, though, you pick up on this, like, there's this smell that Saoirse always, depending on what form she's in, I think she would smell a little bit differently, but I think for, like, her default, Crystal, do you think that she kind of has, like, a floral and, like, earthy smell? Like, a little bit,
Yeah,
like
a
warm fur,
lavender.
lavender, like, flowers, so it's like a little,
Sunshine.
yeah, like a little bit like the way that a cat smells after it's been like laying in a patch of sunlight, and they have that like musky sweet smell combined with like some herbs and like flowers. Normally she smells like that. Right now you're getting this like very faint hint, and it's fading fast, of grass, like burnt grass, or the grass how it is where you're from, where it's very hot and it doesn't grow green, it grows golden, because the green grass like can't really handle super high heat at times, but the golden like grasses are more like they've evolved to be able to survive a lot of the like strong sunlight and heat where you're from, and like there's a little bit of that smell that you pick up, and then that gets replaced with this like very cold watery smell, and you're not picking up the usual Saoirse smell right now. But you've never noticed her smelling like the savanna grasses. You have noticed the kind of watery like smell that would come whenever she's been in her winter form, but the grass is new.
I'm gonna shake her. Cause she smells different. I'm gonna shake her.
You do, and she
Hey!
flops around. She is still out cold.
Dang it. Thought the color would help her wake up. I guess I'm just gonna put her bowl of stew beside her. So like maybe it could help her warm up a little bit if she smells like cold water. I'm gonna just sit down and eat my stew.
Okay, yeah. And you can like sit on the edge of the bed there and like keep her bowl of stew with her. It doesn't, I mean, there's probably some like condensation that would like form on her skin just from having like a hot bowl of liquid next to her. And she does get warm, but there isn't necessarily any like change that happens because of that. But you are able to eat your stew, and it's very tasty, very like classic beef stew with, you know, like chunks, big like hearty chunks of potato and carrots and some sort of cubed meat, as well as like strong flavors of like pepper and thyme. I don't know if Aurum knows what those are, but there's a comforting herbal flavor underpinning the meats and like savory vegetables that is like very warming to your whole body. And the lingering pain that you always feel in your liver now, even on good days, as you eat the stew, goes away for a little bit. And I know that you rolled out of it, but for basically until your next long rest, like, well, not so, it would be, okay. You basically, like, any other conditions that might be associated with your poison, even if you save out of it, are suppressed for until your next long rest.
Okay. Cool. This is a really good food. This is a really good stew.
You see that, like, the like pillows and like blankets that are arranged on the bed and on the armchairs and like in a little basket there kind of like flutter a little bit happily.
Oh.
And you hear like some of the door hinges on the cabinet squeak, like in a very cheery way.
If this stew made me feel this good, I'm gonna try to feed Saoirse some stew.
Okay, walk me through the process for that. Are you just like?
No, I think I lift her. I lift the top of her body up onto my leg, right, and then I take a spoon of the soup and just like try to gently drop it into her mouth. I'm not good at this. I mean I am good at medicine, I guess. So like. I assume I'm okay at this.
Yeah, there's not any kind of like check that you'd need. I think maybe this is not an experience that Aurum has had to have before, or at least for like a long while. I think perhaps maybe when Aurum was like a teenager, there may have been times where like his father's most elite warriors came back from a hunt very wounded, and everybody would take their turn caring for them, so it's not totally alien to you. But caring for somebody else like this, aside from like when your husband has been ill, which is not often, it's kind of, you're a little rusty. So at first you probably take too big of a spoonful of the stew and it like dribbles down like into her hair and like onto her clothes. So there's this like that reddish brown like streak all over her, and you're like, oh. Okay, less. But you're able to get it.
She would have thought it was funny, so you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. And little by little, you are able to get a bit of stew successfully into Saoirse without choking her and with only some spillage. But you can see that like as she eats, that color and like the opalescence starts coming back a little bit faster. Like you can kind of see if you've ever seen like the time lapse of like how ice will like form on glass as it like kind of like spider webs out, you begin seeing the opalescence like spider web out all over her body, and it's happening like a lot faster now. And then you hear a knock on the bathroom door.
Ah! I spilled the stew. I spill it. I'm like,
It goes all over the bed. It pools underneath Saoirse.
I was so focused. On the bathroom?
On the bathroom door in here, yes. Not the door to the hallway, the bathroom door.
Who is it?
It's
Why
your
don't you
mom.
open it up and find out?
I'm not opening the door for you. I hate you. I'm not opening the door. No.
Well, fine. I guess I'll just open it myself.
Go ahead.
The door opens, and before you see the visage of a very familiar satyr.
Ugh.
Your friend, Sam. It smells delicious in here. Do you happen to have any of that? Do you think she'd mind if I just... And he, like, walks over and, like, reaches down, like, kind of under Saoirse and, like, pulls up a handful of stew and just starts, like, eating it. That's really good.
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
You sound so accusatory.
Because I just got done talking to you, and I don't want to talk to you.
Well, lucky for you, you're not the one I'm here for. In fact,
Thank the gods.
it's your friend Saoirse here. She's in a bit of a pickle, isn't she?
Well, she was doing good when she was drinking the stew, up until you came and knocked on the bathroom door.
Maybe you should be more ready to spring into action. You never know when something might come bearing down at you from the bathroom or the hallway. Or from underground.
It's a good choice of words for yourself.
You wound me. Treat me like such a villain. Hi, haircut. This guy.
Speaking of
Where'd that-
villains.
Where'd the cat even come from? I don't remember that cat being here.
You know, I think he might have followed me from wherever I was before.
Oh.
Like in the in-between, because I kind of like skipped across a few domains, and the little like puddle that would open up as I go from one to the other, he might have just been there and jumped right in. I'm just
I
gonna
don't
let
know
him
why-
do.
Works. The cat distribution system. Sam has cat.
Oh
now.
yeah.
What should I call him? Should I call him Cat
You call-
Aurum?
You called him haircut literally 2 seconds ago.
That was another godly figure.
What are you here to do? Are you here for a reason? Are you here just to fuck around like normal? I don't know what your deal is, to be honest.
It would be really funny to tell you that I'm here to kidnap Saoirse and corrupt her with my dark and very evil fey magic, but that would be a lie.
Okay.
And that's boring. So what I will tell you is that I am a loving and caring archfey. And I'm sort of like...
That feels like a lie too.
I can be. I'm multifaceted. You could sort of think of me as an old friend for Saoirse. I was going to say uncle, but then that kind of puts me out of the running, and I don't want to just assume that about myself yet, you know? So, an old friend of Saoirse's who cares deeply for her and also has no stake in the game of courts, so I'm here to help.
How are you gonna help?
I'm going to wake her up
How?
with music. Do you play? I think you do, don't you?
Not playing music with you.
Every single one of us plays instruments.
That is
All
true.
right. You know, I don't want to put you in a bit of an awkward position here, but the music gets more powerful the more people participate in it, and right now it's just you and me. She can't really participate. I'm perfectly capable enough on my own, but having a hand or a paw would probably... I think Saoirse would appreciate it. After all, you did leave her sitting in a puddle of stew.
Well, that was your fault. Number one.
I didn't drop the bowl of stew, you did.
Number two, I only play with people that I trust and care about. And honestly, I've lost a lot of faith in you as an individual. So I think I made it very clear that I don't trust you. And to be blunt, I don't really care for you either. So as much as I want Saoirse to wake up, I think she was gonna wake up on her own anytime now. So
Are you sure about that? Do you want to sit and wait and see what happens?
her color's coming back.
And
That's better than not having her color come back.
what of her power? It's not enough for her body to be restored. There's also the matter of her power as well, which she overextended.
Hmm.
You needn't play with me. but perhaps you might play for her.
See, but those things are hand in hand right now.
I disagree. If the intention is to not play with me and play for her, then we're not playing together. We're just two people who happen to be playing music together at the same time. Well, not together. Next to each other, in the same space, for the same audience. But it needn't be together.
Make a deal with me right now that we're not going to play together.
What do you offer?
I'll play if you agree that it's not together.
How about we play together and I fix your liver?
No complications. No extra stupid stuff from you. Just playing an instrument and you'll fix it after what you made me fight with you in my dream that whole time for.
Well, as much as I would love for you to make a delivery for me, or perhaps to aid my very special, very important champion, Adonis, it seems that those don't tickle your fancy. And I'd love to tickle you. So if what's going to tickle you is playing music together in this singular instance with no other strings attached aside from my healing and recuperation of your liver, and we leave it at that, and any other further occasions of music and revelry are to be decided upon by you, not by compulsion, then I can offer that. Let me tickle your liver.
I was with you until you said that. Why would you say that?
Because I knew it would make you uncomfortable.
It does make me uncomfortable. I'm more inclined to walk out the door right now.
Well, if I made it such an easy choice for you, then it wouldn't be as meaningful. If it's a choice that you make in spite of your lack of desire, then it's all the more meaningful, isn't it? It's easy to say that you want to go for a walk when it's sunny and lovely out, but to go for a walk when it's raining and thundering and fireballs are flying from the sky, that's a much more intentional choice.
I'm doing this for my friends, not for you.
Of course, I'd never suggest otherwise. And he will shake your hand. And you have this, like, feeling for a moment of, like, this warm breeze washing over you, and you hear in your mind this lilting, cheery music that plays, and just as quickly as it appears, it fades. Liver first or Saoirse first? I'll let you choose.
Saoirse first.
Of course. Sam, seemingly from nowhere, produces a lute. And he waits for you to...
I'll unhook my drum from my bindle stick.
Are you familiar with the musical customs of the Spring Court?
No.
So, it can go a few different ways, but what I think is going to probably work best here is to just keep playing very happily and loudly until she wakes up. It's less so about it being perfect, that's sort of like the Autumn Court enjoys that, and more about the feeling behind it, and letting yourself go into the music.
So I just have to have fun on my drum.
Yes, and the music should sound fun too. Not perfect, but fun. Uplifting, upbeat. I think that's what her spirit needs right now.
I know exactly what she wants.
All right. Do you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me switch the music here. Hold on. Boop. And we'll do this. And we'll do this. Okay, there we go. So, the two of you begin playing, and immediately Sam is strumming this lute in a way that you didn't think would be possible for somebody with only 5 fingers, because the melody that comes out is rambling. It continues to have that sort of like lilt to it. And it's like experiencing the blossom of spring flowers in musical form. Roll a performance check. Michael said, "Hit that drum like with the Phil Collins does in the air tonight."
I want it. Let's
12
do it.
plus 4 for a 16.
Okay.
I'm going for the exact, like, opposite end of happiness from him.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, whatever he's doing, if he's going fast, I'm gonna do, like, a slower drum beat to try to throw him off and be funny.
Okay. Okay. Sam is a musician of peerless skill. You have likely never heard anybody play music like him. You likely will never hear anybody play music like him. But there is a moment, a singular fraction of a note, where his finger slips and you hear like a sour tone. Like a little bit, it's like a little something mean in there, a little mean note. And there's a roll an insight check.
I
Bro.
think so. That's a 8.
Okay. Despite that, and you being aware of it, and you knowing that he is also aware of it, he does not break. Mans is fully in it, like eyes closed, like he's like just going. He's dancing around and you hear his hoofs like clattering on the wooden floor in here. Bro, it is a sour yellow note, Kristy. That is exactly right. But yeah, you guys play, and you play for what feels like quite a long time. And it's almost reminiscent of the Rebirthday party where you basically had to force everybody to party for an hour. And it started like reaching the point where like everyone was getting exhausted, and yet you persisted. Bro, chill. Why are you running around? He's crazed. But you persist through it. And soon enough, Saoirse, for all you know, you kind of just like you had this dream, this horrible dream, and you woke for a moment, and then it's just black darkness. Very for an archfey or even a baby archfey to have gaps in your memory or just blackness and emptiness is very alien. Because Saoirse was not necessarily born the way that a human is born. You remember your very first instance of life, and you even remember the experience of existing before you existed, when you were an idea. You remember being an idea before you were a person. Because yeah, the feeling that is you is something that has always existed. You were just the first time that it was something made manifest, and that is a true fact for all Archfey. So you begin to hear this music, and you're still just in this like void mentally, but it's very familiar, and it's very reminiscent of all of the festivals that you went to in the Spring Court. And you, in your consciousness, become aware of you are in one place, and instead of just being in this void with no end, you become aware of a destination. You don't know where it is, or like, well, you know where it is. You don't know like what it is. You just know that it's like this destination is the source of all of this music that you're hearing.
Yeah, Saoirse has no impulse control anyways, so even if it weren't like a familiar, positive kind of vibe, she probably would go towards it, so we're moving in that direction.
Yeah, and the music begins to get louder and louder and more familiar. And this is the music from the most important music-related festival of the Spring Court. And even with that, you've probably never heard it played quite like this. And it, like, there's almost like this tug in your chest that's pulling you towards it. And you chase after it. And suddenly your eyes open and you're staring at a wooden ceiling of warped, slightly, like, waterlogged boards. And you feel you're on a comfortable flat surface that is bed-like, but you're also, like, moist. And, like, there's, like, you're laying in a puddle of something, too. And, there's just this very bright, very cheery music that is exploding in this room.
Yeah. Saoirse is not used to being still. So I think, like, her first reaction is just, like, flailing out, just, like, randomly and moving in random ways and, like, getting up because she's just like, I have never been still this long in my entire life. And she just sort of, like, does, like, a weird, like, wiggly, stretchy kind of, like, and, like, gathers in her surroundings.
Yeah, you come back into your body and reawaken each part of it, along with your own consciousness. And you feel this, like, kind of viscous, like, liquid just goes flinging everywhere, for Sam and also for Aurum. It's like a wet dog shaking, you're covered in stew. And Sam does not stop playing.
Oh, I don't have my instrument.
Here,
That's
you can
okay.
have mine.
Oh!
I've never played the drums before, but I'm, of course, willing to give it a try.
Somebody needs to dance. If you give her the drums, will you dance? Can't finish a song without a dance.
I said we'd play, I never said we'd finish.
Then I suppose Saoirse will dance.
I'll dance, yeah, of course. Go get up and start dancing. Yeah, Saoirse's like, I gotta move anyways. I've gotta shake all of this, like, stiffness and weird and bad out.
Yeah.
That was a bad dream. That was really scary. And so she's just like, I gotta, like, push it out. I gotta get it out.
Yeah. And so you're able to just, like, start smacking on this drum, and even if you don't know how to play it, skill level might be low, but the intention and passion for it is very high, and in a way that kind of makes up for it. So while it is not skillful, the care that you are putting into just, like, being alive right now is very much heard, and, like, the music swells up to this crescendo, and then finally, once you are, like, fully, like, immersed into it, and you can finally feel the movement of each part of your body down to a single strand of hair, the music stops. And that final note of the lute is strung out. And Sam takes a massive, elaborate bow.
That was good. Lovely. Very good. Wonderful.
You needn't applaud me.
Actually,
You should applaud Aurum.
Oh, of course, yes. I didn't actually hear Aurum playing, but I assume it was very good.
It was acceptable.
Oh, all right.
That's the master musician who messed up a note.
Music's only a mistake if you can't roll with it.
That's very true. There's no mistake.
Whatever you say, Sam, whatever you say.
Only happy accidents.
It's improv. You make a mistake and you roll with it.
Sure. Ding.
I'm actually really glad you're here, Sam. I did try to contact you earlier, but you didn't answer me, which is fine. I know you're very busy.
I was, in fact, in a meeting with this one. And he points to Aurum.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure that was very important.
Not really. It was a waste of time.
I was sort of in the spring court, fully losing my sense of self. So that was interesting. Sam, my dear, I wonder if you'd be interested in making a deal.
Such a terrible idea.
I
Oh,
think it's a really good idea. I have very specific idea of what it is I want from Sam and what I'm willing to get him.
I'm listening.
I need you to become my spy. But in only the funnest of ways.
A spy?
Mm-hmm.
For you, on whom?
The Spring Court.
Who specifically?
The court itself. Because, you see, I have it on good authority that it is experiencing some difficulty with the magic due to the accident. And my dream sort of gave me the impression it might be speeding along a little faster than I had originally thought. And it's something I'd like to keep an eye on, you know? So I know what sort of timeline I'm working with.
I see. As much as I love participating in all of the revelry of the courts, you know I'm not one for politics, my dear.
I'm not asking you to do anything political. All you have to do is keep an eye on what the magical state of the Spring Court is, and then report it back to me, if anything changes.
Just the magical state of the Spring Court. What of your mother, your father?
I am less concerned with them than I am the welfare of my court.
How
It's
noble.
Well, my parents won't be around forever.
That's true.
Eventually the court will be mine.
Yes, it will. Assuming everything works out, which I'm confident that it will be. And you shouldn't discount me just yet.
I've not discounted you for anything. What do you mean?
Excellent. Well, I mean, your curse, darling.
Oh, I think we both know that you're not going to be the one to break it.
I could surprise you.
You're going to surprise me by agreeing to become dedicated only to me. Because that's sort of what I'm looking for.
That's what you're looking for, but are those the terms of your curse?
True love is the terms of my curse, and what I'm looking for in true love is sort of a little more solely devoted. I'm not really very good at staring, to be quite honest with you.
That
I
might
like to be the most important person in someone's life.
That might... I can respect that, and that might be your definition of true love. But you didn't create your own curse.
I do, however, create the terms of what I want out of a person.
Fair enough. Like I said, I don't think you should count me out entirely just yet.
You know what? I'm not going to count you out, but I don't think it's a very likely scenario. Although I suppose we might find out very soon.
Perhaps. I pride
Because
myself
my
on...
offer to you
Oh,
in exchange for your services.
you have an offer. I'm surprised.
Of course I have an offer. I would not come to you with an open-ended deal.
Some of the others that you travel with, and he looks directly at Aurum, love trying to make deals. But then when they hear the terms on their end, they love backing out.
Well, yeah, they're not fake.
Sorry, I'm used to people that I make deals with making better deals than you, so.
I never said I make good deals. I make the right
They
deals.
don't understand how to make fey deals. The way you make fey deals is that you know exactly what you want and what you're willing to do to get it.
Ego
And-
makes better deals.
You need to know exactly where the wiggle room is. How to find the loophole. But tell me, dear, what is it that you offer?
My first gift.
With you?
From me.
From you. With you and from you are very different things.
They are.
And whose lips would I be gracing with my own?
Whomever you so desire.
And what is the... Who...
But I shall
Should
give
I-
you a kiss
You shall give me a
of
kiss.
my own.
Interesting. As much as I love that sort of thing, it is important that the other individual is willing. It's more fun that way.
This is only between you and me. You are free to kiss whomever you like in other circumstances. I simply mean that in the context of our deal, I shall give you a kiss. What you do with your mouth while I am doing that is up to you.
Right. You will offer me a kiss, but I ask again, with whom? Who's willing? And who do you
I will
consider to be
give
valuable
you
enough?
My first kiss.
I think you're trying to be clever right now, so I'm going to lay out very clearly what it is that I'm looking
Alright.
for from this.
I think you're reading more into this than there's actually there. I will put my lips upon your person.
Can I not be here for that?
I want you to be here for it.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'm
You're
leaving
the
the room.
stipulation for the deal. You can't leave.
I'm turning around and walking out the room.
In fact, perhaps I could offer you a little bit extra in exchange for Aurum being present during the kiss. Perhaps your whole party, in fact. I do love a good show.
Very well.
I have information that I think might be useful to you, aside from the espionage that you wish for me to engage in, about you and your curse specifically.
Oh. Alright. Making it even more worth my while. I was sort of getting the short end of the deal with this.
And I am very generous, and I wouldn't want to see my favorite flower of the spring court suffer and be left high and dry.
So flattering. So
So
I'm
this is
glad
how we
you
do
think-
things. Aurum.
It's language
how
all of its
always-
own. You know,
Of course.
you should hear the way that the innkeeper here speaks. She has a language. If she ever says "bless your heart," just know that
Oh.
you have become an idiot in her eyes.
Oh dear. Well, hopefully I will never hear that then. Where are we exactly, actually, now that you mention it? Because this is not... I'm really glad we're not where we were, but this is definitely not it.
You're still in Prismere, different region.
That's good. That's good.
This is
That's
Hither. Hither was once a part of Prismere that was known for having lovely river deltas and waterways and gathering places for trade and conversation. Now it's a stagnant swamp.
Okay.
In-
Okay.
can you fix my liver so I can leave?
Oh, right! I did promise to do that, didn't I? Yes. How are we going to do this? Saoirse, before we get back to our deal, would you mind assisting me closing out this one? He helped me to bring you back to the waking world, and in exchange,
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
going
love
to
to
heal
help.
his liver. A song?
Oh, of course.
And he will
Which
begin.
one?
So he just starts singing. None of
Oh,
the
that's not-
OG like party members are here, so they would recognize it. But he begins singing a song that is like familiar to you in the sense that like most Fae probably know this song because it isn't like a court specific song. And it has this like melancholy melody, and it's sung entirely in Sylvan, but it's essentially about the person whose POV you're seeing is singing about how beautiful the place that they came from was, and the freedoms that were there, and how much they miss it because all of the things that they loved were changed, and they left for a long time and came back, and all of a sudden there was political strife, and things were very different. It's very much like some of like the like I think it's, I don't know which Irish groups it is, but like the ones that sing like the IRA songs, like "Come Out Ye Black and Tans" kind of stuff. It's kind of got like that vibe to it. But almost all Fae know this song. And so he sings it with you, and you guys can harmonize. And as this song like echoes throughout the room, Aurum, you feel this like tickle in your abdomen. And it's almost like the lyrics of the song, which I don't think you know Sylvan, do you?
I don't. So I'm just hearing jibber jabber. I don't.
Well, you're hearing like that again, very lilting, like Irish Gaelic language, and it's almost as though the lyrics like crawl over your abdomen and into you, and it tickles, but it's not. It's like inside of you.
It's like a spider. It's like I told him.
Or a little feather.
Like a bug.
But as the song concludes and you know the lyrics like rap on like the dream of going home once to a home that can no longer be like once more, you are cured of your condition. You no longer have severe liver damage.
Yay!
We did it!
We did it!
All right, great, thanks. I'm gonna go.
You're welcome. All it took was my best friend Sam.
Tati, bye!
Yeah, Sam, woo.
I look forward to our next encounter.
Do we have to have one? Can we just never talk again? I'd prefer that.
What did I tell you to ask her? Do you remember? Or have you already forgotten?
I don't have to do any of the things you tell me to do. I'm leaving. I walk out the door. I close it.
Ugh.
Sam, I've never, Aurum seems very, friendly and chill for the most part. You've really made an impression on me.
I have. And you know what? It was all in the dream that he had while the group of you were resting. When you were trying to call on me, I was so very generously sharing information with him about his current condition. And this is the thanks I get. Treated like a thief and a villain. Out to take his virtue.
I mean, you would take his virtue if he could.
If he offered it. But not for nothing.
Well, yeah, you don't just take, you have to give back. That's the sort of the reciprocity, that's how we work.
And yet I'm still waiting for your friend to give back for the information that I gave him. Luckily for him, I'm not Titania or the Queen of Air and Darkness. I could have just smited him on the spot, but I'm very generous and very powerful, and I also don't mind waiting. I did tell him to ask you a question, though. I'm interested to see if he ever does so.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me the question because now we're here together and you don't have to ask for him.
No, I want him to see your pure, unbridled reaction to the information that I shared with him.
Interesting. All right.
I think the issue is that mortals love engaging in tomfoolery in the Feywild, and yet they have no concern for the consequences of those actions. And so something done in passing, something done with little care, something that on the material plane would be as natural as breathing, done in the Feywild, in the right context, and with the right powerful beings around, is deeply meaningful. And I think I'm not quite ready to accept it.
I'll have to take your word for it. My experience with mortals is extremely limited to the people that are currently in this building, so...
Oh, your friends aren't here.
They're not?
They'll be back soon.
That's disconcerting. They're alright, though.
Probably.
Look.
They would have to have messed up quite severely in order to be beheaded. But it's not a non-zero chance.
I mean, you would know if Don at least was in trouble.
Yes, that doesn't mean that I would save him, but I would know.
But you would know, right.
He's playing Emperor, although playing Emperor here is being Emperor here. Did you know he has a kingdom? In fact, he wears 2 crowns.
Wonderful.
The crown of the...
2?
He does have 2. Not only is he the Emperor of the little Bullywug town, that is here. He's also the Witchlight Monarch.
I don't know what either of those things mean, but good for him.
They should be
on
back
the Second Kingdom.
If you
Like
wanted to.
like a smaller sort of sub-kingdom somewhere else. That's just very fun. Like, especially if I didn't actually, like, bring it into the Spring Court and just had it as my own little, like, side thing.
You see, like, roll an insight check, or what is your passive insight? If you're not actively, like, if you're kind of just having a conversation, what's
Probably good.
probably pretty good.
14.
Sam is very good at being hard to read intentionally, but he takes a long pause after you say that. That's quite an idea. You are not familiar with the last time someone tried to do that. So perhaps a bit of research before just barreling right into it. Or go for
Alright.
it. What do you have to lose?
Exactly.
Only the things that were the consequences of the last time people tried to do that.
Well, but obviously it couldn't have been too bad if I don't know about it.
It was so bad that you do not know about it. In fact, it was bad enough that there are very few who remember it and are able to speak of it. In fact, I myself am only able to speak on it in roundabout ways.
Interesting. Right. So I guess that's a no for forming my own little mini court.
Oh, I'm not telling you not to do it. But, surprising as it may be, I, Sam, am urging caution.
Wow.
Or rather...
Well, I will certainly take that into consideration. Have you ever formed like a small mini court?
Oh, no. My dear, I find the courts...
responsibility for you.
Not at all. I find the courts to be absolutely loathsome.
I'm gonna try not to be offended by that.
It's difficult to speak on because of certain forces that are at
You
work
find
here.
me loathsome.
No, quite the opposite, in fact. I find you wonderful in spite of your loathsome situation.
Alright. Do you mean the cursed or being a member of the court?
Being a member of the court. It wasn't your choice. So, there's only... I can't really blame you for it. You were brought into it. It's what you choose to do after, of your own volition, that would shape my opinion of you in the context of the courts, but that's neither here nor there at this time. You're a little bit far off from that.
I mean, I suppose I could always leave the court, but I really like being spring.
This is the last time that I'm going to say it in this conversation, but again, I urge caution, or at least informed decision-making. If you can find information about the last time that somebody tried to leave the courts and form their own. It exists.
Oh, I
out
wouldn't.
there.
I could. If I were to just leave, I wouldn't be like leaving to form my own court. I'd just be like leaving.
And again,
But
it has
yeah.
been attempted in the past. It's one thing to switch courts, it's another to leave entirely.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't want to switch courts.
I think you
None
might
of the other courts are pleasant.
I think you might be surprised. Autumn is a
Autumn
bit...
seems very boring.
They can be, but they're not. They make... The food that they make there is far better than any of the other courts.
Well, food, I do like food, but, you know, parties?
They also have a sort of a prank festival. Well, rather, they have Samhain. And that's when they all go into the mortal realms and wreak havoc and cause mischief and commune with spirits and help mortals commune with spirits. I think you might like that part, and I think you would like their
That sounds
pie. I don't know
I
if
do
you
like
would be
them.
interested in their
Especially
art
tiny
galleries.
pies.
They have very
I like
big
really,
pies.
Really, oh, but I like the really, really tiny pies we have sometimes.
But
They
have
look
you
like
ever-
impossibly small.
Those are very cute, and all of the pixies and the sprites love them. I find them delicious. But have you ever had a pie that was the size of a palace? I bet you've never even thought of
No.
that before.
I haven't.
A
It was,
moment.
like, so nice.
Can you open this door? And he points to one of the doors in the room. I don't think you would know which one it is at this time.
I mean, it doesn't matter to Saoirse. He says open a door, she's just gonna be like, alright, sure.
Okay, so for the rest of you, you make your way, you spend your time, I'm gonna put a pin in the Saoirse stuff because I want to make sure that I give everyone else a little time and then like incorporate us all back together because some of the information that he's gonna give should probably just be heard by the whole party. So, the group of you spends time with the Watcher and Ufgunk, and then eventually you say your goodbyes and head back to the inn at the end of the road to check on your friend Saoirse. And, you know, you might spend a little bit of time in the common room or perhaps talking to Sue, but eventually you would all congregate at the door to, like, the proprietress's room. And just as one of you goes to grab the doorknob, the door flies open of its own accord, and you see in front of you, or rather you, like, have to look up because she's partially obscured by the door frame, Saoirse.
Saoirse! You're awake!
Oh, you're.
And you also see that Sam is in the room with her.
Oh.
Hello. And
Oh.
she's covered in stew.
Oh! Oh
You're muted, Ink.
Kill myself.
No!
no!
I see you have a little color back. Is what I said.
Oh, yeah, not my favorite of my covers, but, you know, it is very shiny.
Hi, Sam. You've been showing up a lot more recently.
Hi, my darling.
Oh, Sam and I are making a deal.
What? Shouldn't you be in bed? Shouldn't you be resting more?
No, in
No,
fact, I
okay.
think rest would be worse for her than standing and moving.
Oh. Okay. That's good.
Inertia tends to stick. And motion
Oh.
stays in motion? I knew somebody once who had a saying about an object that is moving and one that stays in place, but I don't remember it because I don't really care for science.
Okay.
Me
I just
neither.
really like to move.
That makes sense. I'm glad you feel better enough to walk around.
So we were dancing and singing. And
Oh,
playing
wow.
drums.
Where's Aurum? Is Aurum here?
Aurum is
He's,
probably storming around,
Yeah, he's kind of
stewing. He's very mad at
Stewing.
me. I healed his liver.
Oh, you did?
Why
Yes,
would he be
he's-
mad about that?
He's really grouchy with Sam for some reason.
What
I
happened?
can't imagine why.
Oh, can name like a dozen and
Sam
some.
offered him a deal, and he seems to be very unhappy about that.
I'm delightful.
You are. So what deal are you two making?
Maybe you should come in.
Okay, yeah, I guess we could just let Orm calm down for a bit if he's upset.
Well, maybe you should bring Aurum in because he's likely going to be a part of the deal that we're about to strike.
Oh. Okay, I'll
Oh,
go
you're
Why?
changing the deal.
I'll go find him.
Oh, or is it just the part where you want everybody around?
This is the part where I want everyone to watch.
Oh,
What?
Oh no, my god.
What does that mean?
You can join in if you want. You don't need to make a deal to do that. You can do it freely if you
Oh my
wish.
god.
I hate Sam so much.
Wait, but Sam, if
I
he
hate Sam
joins
so
in,
much.
does that make him part of the deal?
No.
Just inherently.
Well, if I don't get any benefits from being part of the deal, I'm
Although
not
I suppose
going in.
by being part of, like, already beholden to you, he's sort of already part of it.
A question to shed a bit of light on the situation, because that will inform whether or not he's part of the deal. Adonis,
Yes.
have you ever been kissed?
By my mom.
Oh,
Oh, my sweet, sweet satyr child. I don't mean in a familial way.
No, wasn't really a focus.
Ego, why? You
Are you
Ego,
volunteering?
the hand raise. I'm very curious what that means.
Ego is
I've had a couple
volunteering.
different kisses. I think I've had the most kisses out of everyone here.
yep,
Oh,
100%.
Ego gets around.
So I think that if there's any question about kissing, you should direct it towards me.
The expert.
I don't have
Absolute
any
expert.
questions. That's good to know.
Ego, I don't think you even understand the reason why people kiss normally. I think you just were receiving kisses.
Well, nothing about the Feywild is normal. Why
There's
do you need to
lots
know
of
about normal
reasons to
kisses?
kiss.
Because the reason behind a kiss is sort of why it's important.
Well, okay. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
not necessarily true. You can kiss for whatever reasons. It doesn't have to be.
I specifically, distinctly remember people talking about
Although
how
here it should
important
be.
a first kiss is.
Well, here, yes. Here it's definitely like a whole thing.
Well,
I
can
mean,
you at
but
least?
I also distinctly remembering it being important here because it was important on. We've had this whole conversation.
Have I had my first kiss or not?
Did you engage in the act willingly and as half of the partnership in the act?
Yes, I made a deal with a woman at your party, and she taught me a language with her tongue.
Oh, I do so love the Trader of Tongues. If you liked her, I have another trader that I could put you in contact with that I think you'd find even more intriguing.
And then I was definitely willing when Aurum and I kissed because that saved my life.
I don't
Which-
think that was a kiss. I think that was.
And then, didn't I have another one?
Think so. I don't remember where it was though.
Oh wow, I can't remember. I don't know.
I don't know. Kissing just keeps coming up though.
Well, then you've certainly had a kiss. At least the one with the trader counts, because you did it willingly. And so your kisses are of no value to me, I am sorry. Because the most valuable kiss, at least in my eyes and in the context of the bargain being struck, is one that is a first.
Well, there's two kisses that are more valuable than any other. The first kiss and the true love's kiss.
Yes.
I
Can
don't
they
think
be
this
the
is
same kiss?
They can. That was my intention, but I
They
think
can be.
given the circumstances, that's not going to be the case.
But I would argue that a first kiss is more rare than a true love's kiss, because there can be more than one true love in your life, which is the information that I'm trying to share with you. We'll get more into that in a bit. But
Polyamory, let's go.
you only go from not being kissed to being kissed one time. And then for the rest of your life you are kissed unless you can find a way to give it back.
Oh.
So Dawn's kiss would be of great value, and I would consider bargaining for it. Aurum is married, his kisses are of no value to me, and Clover, I think, is in a bit of a strange situation.
Everyone turns.
It was
Sound
given...
of stone grinding on stone.
We all turn towards her. It was given, and yet you were under the influence of magical control, so
Not really
I would
given
argue
freely.
that it wasn't given freely, no.
She's like halfway out the door. She's still listening, but she's like looking for Aurum. And as everyone turns to her, she's like, "What?"
So, this deal. May I speak plainly in front of the others, Saoirse?
No, of course.
The espionage on your court, specifically with the magic of your court, is something that I can do. Shouldn't take me too long.
Oh no, I want continued updates.
Oh, continued updates, right. I could do that. Ugh. I'm going to have to visit so much more. Fine. I can do that. I don't want to, but I will. For the sweetest flower of spring.
Oh.
I'm not going to offer you my first kiss for a single journey to the Springport.
Fair enough. I wouldn't offer that for a single visit either. And then, for the extra information, Dawn,
Oh man.
would you like to offer your first kiss to me in exchange for a bit of information on Saoirse's
No. You already said you are willing if they simply watch.
I'm not doing it.
We didn't strike the deal yet. The terms can change.
The terms can change. My terms can change as well.
You got me there. All right. Everybody watches, and I will tell you what you need to know. And Dawn,
Yes.
you can, if you'd like to make a deal and offer your first kiss, just know that I'm here and willing and already engaging in the act with another. So why not just get it done and over with now?
See, the thing is, I don't find you obnoxious anymore, but I do like the idea that I can hold something over your head. So we'll have to see.
You're welcome for that power.
Wow.
Oh, you're starting to sound like your friend Aurum.
I don't like that comparison.
I knew you wouldn't, and yet I can hold it over you too.
Oh my goodness.
So for Clover going to... Where is Aurum? Aurum left. Did he go to the common room? Did he go to his own room? Did he completely vacate the premises? Where's he at? Talking to Sue?
I think he might have just went to his own room.
That's where I was gonna go first. If he's mad, he wants to probably be alone. Sue was my second guess.
I was either gonna be is the fishbowl guy here?
Oh. What?
Moby Richard?
Moby Richard, yeah.
You have not seen Moby Richard? But that doesn't mean that he's not here, because Captain Baja is present in the common room and is reading a book.
Right. I was either gonna go looking for Moby Richard or go to my room, but I think my room makes more sense, so.
Okay. So Clover, the first place that you go, you knock on the
Rarely
door.
happens.
Who is it?
It's me, Clover. We're back now.
Welcome back.
Can I come
Open
in?
the door.
Hi.
I guess. Hi.
Are you okay?
I mean, my liver's healed.
I heard, but I also heard that you're mad at Sam.
I don't like Sam.
Why? What happened?
He's just very shady and snaky, and he reminds me of the spider we met.
Did he do something?
Yeah, I just get the same vibes. I just get the same vibes as when I remember when that spider tried to kill me in the forest.
Yeah.
He gives me the same vibes. Like, he's nice, but he's too nice. And he knows how to say something mean and try to make it framed as if it's nice.
Oh, the backhanded compliments?
I don't trust it. I don't trust him. I feel like he wants us to do more than he is letting us on to know, if that makes sense.
I understand. Yeah.
And he said some stuff about my father in my dream that I was not particularly happy with, and tried to assume what my father would say to me after my father talked to me first. So
Well, that's not nice.
it's okay. His knowledge isn't as broad as he makes it seem to be. But I don't trust him, and I don't want to make any more deals with him.
Well, you're not technically making a deal, but I was hoping...
I'm not watching them kiss if this is what that's about, because
It
they already
is.
brought that up to me too. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving him the pleasure of having anything over me. I'm showing him that I'm better than him. You know, I made him mess up his song.
Or,
I did. He was playing and it went dink really loud.
it's a little funny, but it's also kind of mean. You're
Well-
putting yourself on his level if he's being mean to you. It's not nice to
Well, I
bully a
don't-
bully.
I don't think he has ever had anybody fight back.
Maybe, but you could also, like, rise above him somehow. Like, don't acknowledge it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to play
But
his
you
game.
But you already did, though.
Well, yeah, then I walked away because he healed my liver. I helped wake up Saoirse, and he healed my liver.
But it seems like Saoirse needs our help, though. It's not about Sam, it's about her. She's our friend.
I mean, yeah.
And she's still in winter, so I know she's still not really happy.
I don't understand what that means really, but sure.
Her color. Like, I know she's got some color
Oh
back.
yeah, she's a different
Yeah.
color than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just consider it for her sake, maybe? You're doing it for her.
But Sam wins if I do it for her. And Sam's gonna make it known that he wins if I do it for her.
Yeah, but
How
sometimes
bad does she need this other information? Because honestly, I feel like Sam's information isn't really necessary. We'll find it out anyway. He was gonna give her the first part.
I agree
for the
that
kiss.
I do agree that I think we could find it our own way, but after seeing her like that, I don't think we have time anymore. And we still have to deal with the hags. I'm scared we're running out of time for her.
Clover, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I do this for her, I'm owed a deal too. Because
You-
I'm the one that has to keep breaking my laws and my ways of living for everybody else. And that's not fair on me to do
You're
this
right.
the whole time.
You're right, it's not. Do you want to make a deal with me?
I don't want to make a deal with you.
But I'm the one asking you.
You weren't the first one to ask me.
Who was the first one to ask you?
Well, Sam just said we were gonna do it.
Oh.
Sam assumed we were gonna do it.
Oh. I thought it was before you got mad at him and then you didn't want to do it because you were mad at him.
I've been mad at him.
Oh.
I'm mad he showed up here. I don't
Oh.
want to deal with him anymore. And if I decide to help you guys with this, I am not making any more deals with Sam. I'm not going to be a part of any more deals with Sam. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's...
And if you want to make a deal about that, I will.
I'll make whatever deal you need, Aurum. But I don't want to force you to... If you really feel this strongly, don't do it. I don't want to force you to do something that makes you unhappy.
If it's going to help Saoirse, I can do it. But I don't want to make this a habit. It's going to help your friends, so do it. That's a never-ending cycle that Sam's just going to use against us forever. Because we care about each other, and all Sam ever does is take advantage of that.
Never thought of it that way before, but yeah, maybe.
I'm learning more and more every day that we're here that we can't trust anyone. I trust you guys because this isn't your home, but you can't trust people that are from here.
Well, what about Saoirse, though? She's technically Fae.
I'm still trying to figure it out, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. You want to come back with me, or do you want to think about it some more?
If you make a deal with me that if I do this, I don't have to do a deal like this again, I'll go.
Okay.
So the deal that you guys are striking is in exchange for Aurum going down and participating in the terms of the other deal.
That I'm
I'll
never
not-
gonna be forced to
Yeah.
be a part of these again.
Okay. All right. So you will never be forced to participate in another sort of like deal or like one of the do
He
it for
won't be
your
guilt
friends.
tripped ever again.
No
Yeah.
guilt tripping. Okay. So you can shake on it. I felt a yawn coming on.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Let it out. Or in.
And do you head back down to the room? Alright. Is there anything for Dawn and for Ego or for Saoirse, anything that you wanted to do while it was just the group of you? Anything you wanted to ask of Sam or of each other?
I'm pretty good at the moment.
There's things Ego is thinking about, but I think they can be brought up another day. Think about it a little bit more.
Okay. No, why is Suncraft being like this? Bro. There we go. Okay. So the group of you reconvenes in Sue's room. And Sam is like, wonderful! I'm so glad that everyone is here. Saoirse, darling.
Okay.
Just to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
The ongoing espionage of your court and the strange happenings of the magic, perhaps being impacted by some unknown force, I will provide information to you, and you will give me a kiss. And in exchange for a little bit of extra information, all of your friends will watch.
Yes.
Shall we shake on it?
We shall.
And he holds out his hand to you.
Yeah, I'll shake.
Yep, and so as you guys shake, all of these little, green leaves begin to sprout from your skin and just, the air around you. And these, long taproots of dandelions begin to wrap around your arms. And then from the point where your hands, touch, this, little dandelion with its long, spiky leaves begins to rapidly form and sprout up into a cheery yellow flower. And then it turns into a big white puffball, which is then carried off on a warm breeze. And you hear a little bit of cheerful music. Everybody can hear it. And then Sam says, wonderful! Where shall we start?
Saoirse will lean over and give him a kiss on his cheek. She never specified where she would kiss him, just that her lips would touch his body.
You got me there.
I did.
Still of value, though. Still the first one, even if not upon my own lips. Was that so bad, everyone?
It was cute.
I thought it was going to
Sure.
be more exciting.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you want excitement, that can be offered. In fact, I give it freely.
I'm still really confused about all of this, I think.
Oh, I gave Sam a kiss, and in exchange, he is going to spy on the Springport court and inform me as to the state of its magical situation for as long as I so desire.
No, actually, that was probably the only part that I did, I think, understand the terms of the deal. I'm still unsure of why the location of a kiss matters and the reasons why people kiss and what love has to do with any of that.
The location of the kiss. Oh, I think this
Like
might
is
be
like
hard
the
to-
most important place to kiss on the lips.
Not necessarily.
If
Depends
you're
on
trying
your
to
intention.
express romantic affection.
I think, because I've been thinking about this place basically ever since we got here.
Oh, do enlighten me. And he like sits down and like puts his hand, like his chin on his head, and like is just like looking at you, Don.
Let's to break it down, there's no inherent meaning in any single deal that's made here, except for the intention that you put into that deal when you make it. Because literally everything here is based off of some logicless logic where the thoughts and emotions from somewhere else transform into laws here. And I don't know. Damn.
Sam said, I don't give a fuck, and bounced.
Sam said, I don't fucking care.
You're muted.
I do care. My internet crapped out.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Don, let's let Don finish explaining
Yeah.
this, and then we could maybe take a break.
And basically, by the act of giving a kiss on the lips, precedence and important, it becomes valuable currency to get what you want here. So if you don't care about getting kissed on the lips, no one's gonna want it from you because you don't value it.
You're almost entirely correct, but there's a part that you're forgetting, and that is the notion of firsts and newness. Something that for
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
Bash.
oh
Yo.
Don said, "Shut up, bro."
Don was like, "Be gone,
Sam,
And the
just-
Lord's
thought-
face.
Just put the fries in the bag, bro.
So he says, you are partially correct, but you must remember the importance of firsts, which is, for someone of the Spring Court such as Saoirse, very, very valuable. And although there may be little to no intention behind something, which is the majority of where the power lies, the concept of something being a first or a last is very important for the Fae.
Yeah, but isn't that also just based on how people perceive a season?
Certainly. Every season, be it of the weather or of life, is filled with firsts and lasts. It's more about where you are in the journey of your own life. And for mortals, you only have a limited amount of time for firsts. I could go and engage in whatever first I want at pretty much any time, and at this point, most of the firsts that there are to have are long behind me. But for one who is new, novelty is of great value. Tell me, the first time that you perhaps looked upon a field of wildflowers, or the first time you had chocolate cake, was it not something very special with which you associate memories? Perhaps the first time that you had a festival with your family, Dawn, the first time that you were allowed to participate.
I don't like chocolate.
My dress was made as a first.
Oh. And what first would that be?
Oh, it's the sound of the gasp at the sight of the sunrise for the very first time.
You see? That's what I mean. A sunrise happens for mortals every day. It's how it starts. And you've never actually known the first sunrise, and you never will. But you've had your own first sunrise. He's looking at like the rest of the group, not necessarily Saoirse. But for you being a new archfey, you do also are in the rare position of experiencing all of your firsts. So it's of value. But yes, Dawn, you are very perceptive, and I applaud you, in fact, for your analysis of the way that fey magic works. It seems like you have quite an advanced grasp on it. It's really only what you intend that matters in the end.
Yeah.
Things only have power because we choose to give it to them.
Very true. The only value of anything is the value that you place on.
And I think the information that I have would be of value to you. So you were just in a bit of a state. I think we could all agree. Not a normal one for you. And that too was a first. I happen to know why.
I assumed it had something to do with the state of the Spring Court.
That would
That's
be
where it was.
that would be the logical thought process.
But that's
But it's
where I
not
was in my dream before it happened. So
correct. And I don't deny that perhaps it could have played a role in it, but it's not truly the reason. The main reason why that just happened. You've been to the Spring Court in dreams before and never experienced something like that.
no, but I assume that the state of the Spring Court is getting worse. That's why I'm asking you to keep on going.
It certainly is a bit strange, and word of the Spring Court, those coming and going, sharing gossip, has slowed lately. So it is going to be of value to you, I think, for me to spy on what is happening there. But the reason why your whole body lost all of its color and you went a little bit comatose there is because of Titania. That was a little taste of what will happen when you come into full power and you have not resolved your curse. You utilized the raw power of the Spring Court and called upon a well of power that exists far beyond your own person in order to cast a spell in a way that, rules as written, it isn't meant to be used. And even for something as trifling to some as summoning a humming bumble queen permanently, you know, hopefully, that is very powerful magic.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you are now, not something that you're normally capable of, but you know how to call on the power of your court. And in so doing, temporarily, luckily for you, activated the curse that Titania has placed on you.
Right. Alright. Good to know. Next
May I
time,
offer-
I'll be a little more careful.
May I offer advice freely?
Oh, of course. I don't promise I'm going to take your advice.
Of course. In fact, I would urge you to mull over it. There's nothing wrong with calling upon the power of your court. It's something that will come to you in time naturally as you learn and you grow and you have all of your firsts, but make sure if you're going to do that again, that it is very important. And that the use case is justified. Because each time you do it, you're putting yourself at risk, and you're opening yourself up to the influence of Titania. And as beautiful as the light of a spring sunrise may be, that light pales in comparison to that of a summer sun midday at its zenith. And so that's what that was.
I suppose I'll simply have to find something more powerful.
I'm glad to know that this hasn't cowed you. It would be rather boring if you were to be subdued by that information. But just a word of warning, that should you do that again, you will likely go comatose a bit for again. Or maybe something else will happen. I've never really seen this kind of a curse at this level on someone like you. My own first.
Oh, there you go.
Yoink.
Yoink!
it.
What'd you take?
It's mine now. I took the first. I saw it before he did, so.
Rip. And I think the cherry on top. Look for the black books.
Alright.
What?
Do you have any idea where I should look for the black books, or are you just in general? Any black books will do.
Not just a black book, the black books. And in fact, lucky you, the black books were created by the daughters of Baba Yaga, and there are 4 of them here.
In this place that we're in currently?
Daughters
Or in
of Baba
Prismere?
Yaga? In Prismere, there are 4 daughters of Baba Yaga.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought you meant the books.
They each have a book.
Yeah,
There
one
are-
of them gave Aurum jaundice.
There might be a black book about jaundice. It's not one that I'm familiar with. No, the black books, there are 8 that I know of, but they contain forbidden information. Information that otherwise very few people are aware of, and those who are incapable of speaking on it, and he gestures to himself.
Interesting.
Do the daughters have the books?
They might.
Is that you not knowing, or is that you being cheeky?
Little column A, little column B. You see, it's not fun to just give you all of the information. Then I don't get to watch you go on this journey. And this little group is also a first for me. Never really seen a combination of a baby archfey, whatever you are, he points at Ego, something very powerful and dark and asleep. My own champion gestures at Dawn. The champion of an imprisoned god gestures at Clover. And my very own sponge!
I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't sound as exciting as the rest of stuff that you listed off.
Oh, but it is. Normally there's all of these adventurers who wish to be heroes. They want their names written in books to be recorded within the annals of history forevermore. Or perhaps they seek riches or the adoration of many fans. Annals. Annals is a funny word. I did choose that on purpose. It's very close to anal. But you see, the group of you, I feel, is drawn by something else, something very rare.
Bad luck?
Perhaps.
My luck has been great. I met all of you.
You are cursed. I would not consider that good luck.
That happened before I was even conceived, so I don't
What
think
about
that's
everything
really
that happened to you in
mine.
Yon?
It was unpleasant.
You tried to make candy and you got broken glass in it?
That candy was very good, thank you.
It
just
cut
ate- we
your
just ate-
mouth.
just Yeah,
Do you have any left over? That sounds
Oh, no.
delicious.
It did cut your mouth.
No, I think actually, if I recall, Saoirse just sort of like threw it.
Saoirse, you
She
ate
was
glass.
done with it. I did.
You ate glass.
I did eat glass.
Okay. Well, whatever it is you say, this little thing that we have is now, at least I know something else that I want. I need those books.
I figured you might be interested in those. You know, you had one very close within your grasp, and I mean that literally, probably about 3 to 5 feet away from your person, and
No!
you did.
Where? When? In Bavlorna's hut?
Oh
I won't tell you where, but you've been quite close before to at least one of them.
no.
I need.
You're turning like an interesting shade of purple right now.
I'm like always a little purple, but
Yep, but you're doing like a really purple thing.
where I need. There must be someone here. Ego's. I'm finally leaving. Ego's, now got something to be annoying about.
Bye!
If Ego leaves, Aurum also step out the room.
I'm glad that you swallowed your pride!
He doesn't even acknowledge, he just keeps moving.
Oh, he hates me! I love it!
Why are you being mean to him?
Am I being mean to him?
I don't know. He thinks you're being mean.
Based off of what?
Well, why did you call after him like that when you know he's upset?
Because I think it's perhaps important that he learns to swallow his pride. In any other context, it would be something I think he would be begrudgingly willing to do, but because it's me, it's a problem.
I think he said you said something about his dad that upset him.
Oh, I didn't say anything about his father other than did he ask the questions that his father asked of him back to his father. There are things that I know about all of you that you may not be aware of yet. And as I said, I could tell you now, but why would I do that? And that includes Aurum and his father. I came to him seeking to share information, perhaps offer assistance, and get a measly favor in return. A delivery, or the other option was to aid Dawn in his mission, but he did not want to bend the knee. And he did not want to run an errand.
What kind of errand?
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a little like dandelion puff. Like it's basically just like one of the little like stalks with like all the little puffs attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
A delivery. I have a feeling the group of you will likely end up in either the Summer Court or the Gloaming Court, and it would be lovely if you could plant one of my flowers there.
I really don't want to go to the summer.
Me
I
neither.
think I'd
It kinda
almost
sounds
rather
like
go to the winter.
Everybody hates the summer
Sounds like
court
a-
right now.
I
forgot about that.
Well, I mean, the summer court itself I'm not averse to, but I am deeply cursed by the queen of it, and I feel like it would probably be very unpleasant for me there.
A delivery was all I asked.
In exchange for what?
I believe at the time he was asking for me to heal what ailed him and his liver.
But you've already done that without the errand?
Yes, there were new terms offered, and I was willing to agree to this current deal. A deal needn't stay the same. In fact, it's a little bit boring if we just sort of make one set of terms and then stick with it and we don't think about it and perhaps change them along the way. I mean, it's easier that way, but easy isn't fun.
Hmm.
For what it's worth, there are only a few archfey or fey in general, that I would consider truly mean. But this may be hard for
The
you.
Winter Court.
Oh no, the Winter Court is not unkind. They're just very stoic. In fact, well,
I heard they were mean.
the
I think
prince
they're cool.
the prince is not mean. The prince is prone to outbursts.
Oh.
But the Hibernal Baron is quite lovely, very jolly. Also very good food there, and very soft blankets.
Ooh.
They probably sleep a bit much for your liking, Saoirse. That's kind of the whole
And-
thing.
That does sound nice.
In the Winter Court in general, or with the Hibernal Baron specifically?
More so the Hibernal Baron. Winter's in a bit of a strange state right now.
I'm curious. Have you been to Yon?
Yes, I have. I've been most places.
Is the Winter Court as unpleasant as Yon was? Because that's the sort of vibe I was getting.
I think that's a matter of perspective.
Well, it was cold and it was wet, and there was like storms, and there was a tornado that came and took all of my things.
Oh yeah, that
Uh,
did suck. Are there tornadoes in the Winter Court?
Not that I've seen. Tornadoes are a little bit more of a summer. Spring.
Oh.
More like the early parts of summer. The parts of summer that are closest to spring tend to see tornadoes.
Well, at least there won't
Yeah,
be
it was
tornadoes
pretty
there.
stormy on that.
That's a plus.
So, I mean, I'm not going. I don't ever want to go to the Winter Court. It sounds deeply unpleasant there.
If you find cold and wet and ice unpleasant, then yes, you may find the Winter Court unpleasant. But there's something cleansing about cold. There's rebirth to be found in the winter of life. I wouldn't discount winter entirely. There are parts of it that
Like the snowflake.
the snowflakes in the Winter Court are
They're all
incomparable.
different.
In the Winter Court, they can change. It's not just that
The
they take...
snowflakes change shape.
Yes, it's not that they have one shape. They're not bound by the normal geometry of water and ice. They are able to change based on a lot of things, but like many places in the Feywild, it's largely a matter of the intention and feeling of those around.
Oh.
Can you bring me a Winter Court snowflake?
What do you offer?
I'm just asking if you're able to do that, if that's something that you're capable of. I'm not asking you to do it. I just want to know if you could do it.
Of the Hibernal Baron's domain within the Winter Court, yes. The Prince of Frost, yes, would take a bit longer.
But they both change. They're
Yes,
the same.
I think you might find the snowflakes of the Hibernal Baron to be more pleasant. They put on shows. They can reenact scenes from
Oh.
stories or from history. The ones in...
Okay, I don't want to go to the Winter Court, so at some point, I am going to find a deal in which you will bring me snowflakes from the winter.
Anything
haven't-
for you.
Have to have
My
some
flower.
time to think of it. But I will come up with something.
You have all the time in the world to think of it, at least until your curse takes place. But for you, that could be quite a while.
Good. Or it could be very soon.
I challenge you to try. In fact, Clover, is there something that you'd like to share?
I was literally gonna be like, actually, I have an idea.
An idea about how to get Winter Court snowflake?
No, about your
what I could give
curse.
them in exchange for them.
No, about finding your true love.
Oh, we're going to Sibylma, so she can help us find my true love.
Shh, Sure,
Right.
but, like, you were out. I wasn't sure how to wake you, and I got really scared. So, we saw that you were waking up slowly. I went and asked some people. Well, first, I'm gonna pull out. I drew this, and it has, like, it's like your Tinder profile with, like, your likes and dislikes, and, like, tornadoes is at the top, like, dislike, do not like tornadoes.
I do not like tornadoes. Sam, look, isn't it lovely?
It has,
You
like,
turned
little
back to where
animals.
Sam was, and he is no longer there.
Oh,
Oh,
I wanted to show him.
it's very disappointing that he won't get to see it.
Hmm.
I'm sure he would have loved it.
But I also have all these papers, and, like, I got everybody to fill out their likes and dislikes and their name. And if you're interested in any of them, you could, like, look it over. And if there's, like, mutual likes or dislikes, you could maybe go on a date.
Can I do what?
Like, there's this really sweet girl named Joy. I think you'd really, like, enjoy hanging out with her.
Sure, I love hanging out with people.
Okay, well, here's all the
get
papers.
to do it very often because
She just
usually
gives you a
people avoid
stack
me
of
since I'm
paper.
cursed.
I give you a stack of paper of all the people that signed up. Yes, when I left.
So, how is this going to help me break my curse if I just talk to people?
Yeah, maybe you connect with someone. Like, maybe you just feel like a spark or something. Like, that's what the books say.
Oh. Alright, sure.
Meeting a true
Stranger
love
things
means
happen.
meeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've definitely read
definitely.
books where they met at, like, a speed dating thing. Might have been an
I don't know
Megaverse
what
one,
that
though.
means.
What? the idea of her reading Omegaverse fiction is really funny to me.
Oh my.
Yeah, and
Clover.
it does say on Joy's profile, likes fan fiction,
Yeah.
creating OCs.
Okay,
Yeah.
Clover, I need you to explain what any of this means.
Oh, she will. She'll take all the time she needs to explain it to you.
Because, like, I literally don't know half of the terms that these people have put on their list.
Any questions you have on any of the
Yeah.
candidates? I did thorough, like, little vetting interviews.
Sure, of course. Yeah, I love the idea of getting to actually talk to people.
I think Black Donald's in there.
Black Donald is in there. Yeah, okay, so it's like Black Donald likes the crunch of bones between teeth, the smell of sulfur and blood. He really likes wildflowers also,
Oh.
and watching pixies fly around.
Aw.
Dislikes
Okay.
fluffy animals.
No, out. Straight out.
Aw.
Crumpled up, thrown away.
Oh.
Nope. Listen, the wildflowers had potential, but if you don't like animals, I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's
that makes
that's a hard
sense.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's still new to it. He didn't know what a forehead kiss was.
That's alright, but I don't think if you don't like animals, that
No,
you're going
yeah.
to be my truth.
That's fair.
There are some qualifications that
It's
that
not
will-
sorted. I didn't want to like bias you. I didn't sort them or anything. So, you know.
That's fine. This is really nice, thank you.
You're welcome. I was really worried about you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to worry you.
It's okay.
It was just, sort of really horrible and terrifying, and so
Yeah.
I sort of just went into like a sleep, and then it got deeper, and then it was like nothing, and that's
Oh.
never happened to me before, so I really didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That just sounds like every other time I go to sleep, to be
God
honest.
damn it. Fucking don't.
I don't sleep, so if that's true, then I think I'm going to choose never to sleep again.
That's valid.
It's not that bad. You just lay down and it's all dark, and then you wake up and it's morning and you have to go to work.
I don't. That's all of that sounds bad. I don't like work, and I don't like nothing. I do like mornings, though. I will say, I do enjoy a good morning.
Yeah, me too. Until the landlord is knocking on your door.
Oh my goodness.
You have a
Oh,
lord
yeah.
plan.
Landlords suck. Can confirm.
Are they just? Is it just the earth?
No, it's
No.
whatever apartment you're renting? Or
That like rules over you? The land itself rules over you?
usually like a
No.
building with lots of other
Yeah.
tenants.
A building.
Yeah, he's the lord of the
What are they
building.
building?
It's like the building is the building.
The building is building. So it's just building. Things are just building. All over the place.
I feel like we're getting
Out of land.
lost. We're like getting lost in translation here.
I'll just draw. I'm gonna draw her like an apartment building, like a typical like town apartment building.
Yeah,
It's probably like
for
three stories tops. Like it's probably not very tall at all.
Yeah, you can
two-level.
totally explain the concept of like land ownership and
Yeah.
property and like the means of production to Saoirse.
Saoirse gets bored very quickly and is like, you know what? Actually,
You know
I
what?
don't think I care.
That's fair.
I don't think I care. I'm gonna
It
be
sucks.
honest. This sounds terrible.
You don't need to know about it.
The Mortal Plane is sounding as bad as the Winter Court at this point, and I think I'm out.
Sometimes.
So Ego and Aurum, the both of you have vacated the premises. What are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna go see if I can find Moby Richard and see if he's got anything cool.
Okay.
And so we'll be in the same room then because I want to go see Win, because I know that she can see people's souls, which I'm not interested in seeing my soul right now. We don't need to traumatize her like that. But because of her powers of seeing, I want to see if she can see far off places, if she can possibly paint something for me that might hint to where one of these books are. She was the first person I thought of who might have an ability like that.
Haircut, don't lick the mic. That's not good. Yeah, so let me Moby Richard. Okay. Let me do Moby Richard and then we will get it because that's a whole
Yeah, exactly.
Things can go down with her. So you go into the common room, Aurum, probably alongside Ego, who then goes over to speak with the artist girl, like the young woman in the corner, who is still just like feverishly sketching and painting into her book. Where did it go? Where did it go? What did I just do? Hither. There we go. Octavian the Bard is no longer sitting with her, but is close by and is just like playing like a soft tune to just like set a nice mood here. And the music is like really epic right now. It like does not need to be like that. Okay. Okay. So you can approach Captain Baha and inquire about Richard, in which case he will open up his bill and the little like pop-eyed albino goldfish will pop out. What do you want? You need something?
Got anything cool in stock this time?
It's kind of hard to keep ice and water for really long, so I mean, like, you know, I can only tolerate temperatures that get so cool, so I don't have any ice. What do you mean cool?
Oh, you got magic stuff. This raven I got from you was really helpful, so I'm just wondering if you got other stuff.
Yeah, I got magic stuff. What kind of magic stuff? You looking for something to hurt somebody? You looking for something to cast a spell with? Weapons, armor?
Well, I just
jewelry?
use my hands, so I don't... I mean, like, stuff to hurt things would be cool. Other random useful items. I was just kind of hoping you had it. Do you just have everything? You don't have, like, a stock?
I have a lot of stuff. Inventory's a little low right now because I can't really go anywhere else to trade for more stuff. So I'm limited to whatever raw materials I have in my demi-plane, which are running low because nobody's been bringing me supplies. So I gotta make do. You know what they say, country fish make do.
Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah, country fish make do. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. You gotta make do with what you got.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like dew on the grass.
No, no, dew. I think dew happens because of temperature changes in like the air.
But that's
And
what
then
I thought, and then you said the fish did it, so...
No, make do as in I do what I can with what I have.
Okay. Alright.
Make do. Oh, God.
I mean, you know, I got a lot of stuff. I got scrolls. You use scrolls. I got potions if you use them. I got if you want some kind of like a stick that you wiggle at somebody and weird shit happens, I got that. I got armor. I got some weird stuff.
Kind of weird stuff.
How many trinkets you got?
Seems kind of like you're gonna base your prices off my trinket range.
Excuse me, good sir. I have very set rules for all of my pricing, and I give everybody a fair deal, alright? Just so you know, since you're newer to the shop, I gave all your friends the spiel, and they can vouch for me. But the way that it all works is if you're looking for just like regular stuff, like you need some rope or you need some ball bearings, a toolkit to make potions, that kind of thing, usually just a trinket. If you're looking for a magic item, but the kind of magic item that like everybody and their mother has, 2 trinkets. If you want something a little bit more special, 3. As you get more special, you gotta give more trinkets.
Well,
For armor, if it's like the light stuff for somebody that's like maybe got a little bit of magic or wants to sneak around, 1 trinket. If you want a little bit of metal on it, 2. If you want to look like a tin can with a person shoved inside of it, 3. For scrolls, whatever sphere of power the magic is that you're looking to cast, that's how many trinkets it costs.
okay. I have 3 trinkets.
Alright, that makes it a little easier for me to know what I can work with here. So, alright. That's
I
gonna be...
could probably get more if I found something really cool, but...
I mean, if you could get more, I could give you better stuff, but at this point, you're really only gonna be looking at the most common things. Let me...
So how many do you want for, like, special stuff?
Again, it depends on what kind of special stuff you're looking for. You want special armor? You want special weapon? You want a special spell scroll? I mean, anything with... Is anything with magic special? I mean, I have, like, a regular handkerchief in here, but it's really special to the person who gave it to me.
I just want to know, like, what the weird stuff you had was. That's it. I mean, the scrolls might be cool for my friend, but... I'm here for the weird stuff. The raven was a weird stuff. I'd take out my little raven statue.
Alright. So what I got... Hold on, I gotta pull up everything and confirm the rarity levels, because he is not gonna offer you anything more than uncommon rarity. Oh, not that.
What if I threw in this and I take out the 24-hour stone of good luck star sapphire thing?
Yeah, alright, I'll let that count as 2.
Okay, so then I have 5 trinkets.
Okay. So, I got healing potions. I could give you, like, the regular kind. I guess it would be... Hold on, sorry, I gotta... it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I could give you... I got 1 of the best kind of healing potion you can get. Cost you 4 trinkets, but if you're ever feeling really shitty, it'll probably get you feeling a lot better. Or I could just give you some of the smaller ones. I've got this pen. It's made out of emerald. Very rare stone. when you use it, you can basically make writing that's an illusion. And other people that you don't want to read it, it just looks like gibberish to them.
That's a little boring for me. I don't know how to write, so.
Well, I'm sorry that you're illiterate. I don't offer
okay.
reading lessons.
I wasn't asking for any.
I got a set of earrings that can let you talk to somebody. There's just two, so I mean you could wear both of them if you wanted to. But it's not. There's different ways to send messages. Some of them can go to anyone, anywhere. This ain't like that. This is you gotta be like near the other person. You could probably get like 120 feet and be able to talk to each other, but any further than that, it's gonna come back through really gobbled. But I got 2 earrings, so you could have both to look pretty, or you could give one to someone else, and you can talk through them.
Okay.
It does have a limited number of charges, but it does regain them after a certain period of time.
Okay.
I've got a hat. Don't tell your friend that wears the big pointy hat, because I feel like they might act unreasonable, because it's very pointy and it's very creepy. I have this pointy hat, and if you use the power in it, you can summon a little critter. Specifically like a bat or a frog or a rat. But the only thing is that they immediately try to run away from you. I've got a horn that makes no sound for anybody else except for the people that you want to hear.
That's kind of cool too.
I've got a weird key that it's got a chance that it could work in any door. I don't know where it goes, but there's a small chance that it could unlock any lock that you stick it into. But then once you use it and it works, it's gone. I got a shield that's got a little bit of magic power in it. It can make you a little bit harder to hit. I've also got this oil, but it's also sticky. And if you apply it to your body, it makes it really hard for you to be grabbed. And if there's like weird shit on the ground, you can kind of just walk right through it. You could also pour it on the ground and make the ground really slippery and then light it on fire and explode it. I got a potion that when you drink it, you can't be forced to sleep, and the time that you would need in a day to normally sleep, you can just kind of hang out and be awake. So if you're going somewhere a little dangerous, where you don't have a lovely inn to stay in, and you need somebody to keep watch, but you're all really tired, somebody could drink this and you'd have somebody awake the whole time.
What if somebody was asleep when you fed it to them?
If the sleep was magical, they'd wake up. If they just fell asleep, they would probably stay asleep.
What if the sleep was like curse-induced?
That's a little bit trickier.
Okay.
I can't really. I need to be able to study the magic of the curse to be able to tell you. It's not. This isn't a super powerful potion. It's mainly there. It's pretty common. There's a lot of alchemists that know how to make it. It's a fairly basic one. So
can I be honest with you?
Of course, I can't wait to hear what comes out of your mouth right now.
So all of this stuff you showed me is really cool. However, I was kind of looking for something that could help deal with some hags. Particularly, we're working on going into a big fight and potentially killing a few of the big problem hags as of recently.
Haircut, stop.
And
all right.
I was kind of curious if you had anything like that could give us a little bit of an advantage, whether that be like damage or like scouting ahead, kind of like the Raven.
Mm. Yeah, I got a couple things that might help.
Because this is for a good cause. This is for, like, hither, thither, and yon. You know, it's for everybody.
Right. Hey, stop attacking my cords! You're being mean. I mean, I got some weird shit in here. There's some stuff I was saving for, a rainy day, but if you want to look at it, just don't go spreading it around that it's all there, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you need extra trinkets, I can go get more.
No, 5 would be fine. But
Okay.
let me just double check everything. So he'll like swim back down and he's like gone for a little while. And then when he oh my god, haircut is like on another level right now. He's like very crazed. He will tell you what is that? Come here, buddy. He will come back up and say, I got like 3 things that I think might be helpful. One's more like armor. One is sort of to make you strong. One's a little weird. But if you know how to be creative with weird shit, could be very useful.
Pretty good for weird shit.
So, I happen to have a gem that can allow me to enchant... Sorry, it hurts.
Okay.
Enchant armor and make it Fey-wrought. It basically lets me put the magic of the Feywild into some armor. Makes it easier for you to get out of being charmed by any kind of magic. And it also gives you a little bit of a spell that you could cast. You know what compulsion is?
No.
Basically, you can just make everyone run around.
Okay.
So I can make you some armor that can do that for you.
I don't really wear armor, so.
Well, that's not my problem. I've also got this belt. All right, I won this belt in a game of cards with a hill giant chief. He tried to eat me after. It's a good thing the captain can fly. Basically, it can make you strong like a giant.
Like how strong?
Have you ever met a hill giant? You probably have.
I think so, yeah.
Like them. They're the weakest of all the giants, but they're still way stronger than me and pretty much any regular person that you'd meet.
Like on a scale of 1 to 50.
50. It's a type of, for you it would be super leonin, superhuman, but for whatever you are.
Cause I'm pretty strong.
It's the kind of strength that you can't get if you're immortal like you and me.
Okay.
Without magical interference. So it can
Okay.
take you to a level that even the strongest person with the most training couldn't get to on their own.
Okay, I like that, but I want to hear what the weird thing is.
Alright. I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you to know, but I've had my fair share of trysts with the lovely ladies of the Feywild. And one of those lovely ladies was a treant of a beanstalk. She entwined me in her arms all night, and it was a magical experience. And in exchange for the lovely night that I gave her, she gave me a bag of beans. And they're magic beans. And I don't know what the hell they do, but they're very magical.
Man, do I want magic beans or do I want a belt that makes me strong and hit harder?
If if you plant one of the beans or like dump one of them on the ground, they kind of like you can like dump them on the ground and then they'll like explode. But if you plant a bean, that's when it gets really weird. It can take like a minute, but then some really weird shit will happen. Like I'm talking treants coming out of the ground, mushrooms that can scream. Do you know what a bullet is? Have you ever seen a shark that swims through land instead of water?
Oh, I've never seen a shark.
It's fucked up, and I hope you don't ever have to see a bullet. Regular sharks are great. They're a little bit dull, but you know, they're good for business. Sometimes you just need somebody to go shake somebody else down. But a bullet? This could summon one of them for you. You could get weird eggs. All right? A mummy. A giant beanstalk. A weird fruit tree.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my 5 trinkets for the belt. And then I'm gonna go talk to my friends to see about the beans.
It's a deal. And he like shakes his little fin with you. I mean, you offered 5. It was really only worth 4, but if you're willing to give 5, I'm not gonna say no to that.
Dang it. Alright.
You didn't ask how much it cost.
My bad. I just assumed
So you're buying the beans?
I'm buying the belt and I'm
You're
gonna
buying
go
the-
talk
you're
to
buying the
everybody
belt.
else.
And discussing the beans.
Yeah, because the belt would help me with my
Okay.
problem.
It would help me with my performance. Yeah, so you can go do that. We are going to cut back over. Oh, why am I getting a text from my boss at 11 at night? Not my business. Okay. God, that voice really hurts. Okay. Ego. You go over.
Yes, ma'am.
You go over to speak with Wynn.
Yes, I'm actually going to take like one of Agden's scarves and tie them when I get close to the table. I'm gonna tie them around my face as a blindfold.
Okay.
Because I don't want to accidentally look in her eyes. Sit at the table. I'll take off my hat. I'll put it in my lap. Let my hair down. And I'll just sort of be like, Miss Wynn, I hope I sat at the right table.
So much feeling, emotion. So many people. I have to keep drawing. I think it's getting better. Wynn. That's me. I'm Wynn. I need the paints. The chalks aren't going to do.
Yes, Miss Wynn, we've passed each other by in this inn a couple times, but I don't think that we've ever formally met. Everyone calls me Ego. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Ego. Called Ego. That's you. Good to meet you.
Good
There's
to
so
meet
much
you as well.
pain. But I can feel the thorns. What? Why?
Why the pain?
Why are you here? Where did I put the pink paint? And you hear like clattering of like little art supplies around. There. Yes, what?
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your powers, your abilities.
Powers. Abilities. The focus, the sight. A gift,
Yes.
a curse.
Yes.
My own folly.
I understand. But possibly your folly could be helpful to me. You are a seer. You see things, people. I wanted to know if you would be able to look for things that are not here, find things, see things that are far away. If maybe you could paint them.
Painting. Painting things unknown and unseen. Painting that which resides within. Painting, drawing. You?
No, not me.
Why not you? I wish to paint you.
You do not. I'm wearing this blindfold because I understand that when you look into someone's eyes, you can see their soul. And I'm trying to be kind to you and not have you see something like that.
You are named Ego, and yet your sense of worth is abysmal. You wouldn't let me see? I feel the emotion. I wish to see it. If not that, then what?
Well, I came to you because I am seeking items, powerful tomes that I have learned about that are hidden far away. Tomes that would be known as the Black Books. They would be connected, I believe, to Baba Yaga. And I seek them, but I don't know where to look. And I've been told that I've been close to them before, at least one. So I wanted to know if you can, with your sight, look for these things, perhaps maybe paint where one of them are so that I could find one.
I focus on my art. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be married. I wanted to focus on my art, and here I am. I focus on it. And I want to focus on you. I want to see you. Octavian! And she starts, like, getting a little bit hysterical, and the bard, like, stops playing and rushes over and just starts rubbing her back. And she's kind of just, like, crying right now. And she still you can't see this, but for, like, the audience, she is crying into one hand and is still, like, feverishly sketching with another.
Why do you want to paint me so badly? It's a dark and cold and horrible thing to see.
It's all right when you just take a deep breath. Do you want me to sing to you while you speak? Song. I see the waves in the air of the sound as it moves and reverberates, a song sung throughout entirety of creation, from beginning to end and back again. Yes. And so he begins to sing like a little bit of a song for her, and then you hear her take a deep inhale of breath and hold it, and then eventually she lets out a very relieved sigh. That's better. I can talk for a time.
Good.
I feel the immensity of something lurking within you. It is not the job of art to make me feel good. Art demands to be created. And something within you demands. I should like to see it. But if you wish to blindfold yourself like this, then I suppose I can't force it.
If I give you what you want, let you see, can you do what I'm asking of you, or is that outside of your ability?
I don't... Perhaps. I don't know. I've only ever felt like the power was out of my control, a curse, but lately, with song, I've cannot control it, but I can suppress it. Perhaps controlling it is the next step.
Are
I
you
could
willing
try.
to? That is what I like to hear.
I need information. More. As much as you can give.
I will do my best. I like to draw too. I understand the feeling that something wants to be made. That I can understand. The act of creation is both primal and refined, and it is probably one of the oldest things there is. So,
Almost as old as the
if
song.
almost as old as the song, and older than all the trees in the forest, I will show you what you so desperately feel you need to paint. But then I want you to try very, very hard to see what I seek. Or perhaps, maybe, we can see if we can draw it together.
Yes. Yes, I can try. We can try. It's been so long since I've been able to create with another. Perhaps I feel the weight on you. It's like the entire world resting on the head of a pin. Something deep and old and sleeping. We can try what you need first. I fear once I see you, really see you, I will be compelled to focus on my art for a very long time.
Are you sure?
Yes, the urge, the feeling, the image is already taking shape in my mind. The colors, the feeling, it's there, but without truly looking upon it, I cannot know. The vision is there, and yet I am blinded to it, and so I must see you, all of you, laid bare before me. I know, I feel that what I ask is immense. I would like to try to see beyond the souls of those before me, to look for what you need now.
All right, Win. Okay. I'll reach behind my head and I will take off the blindfold and just I'm like looking down at the table and then I raise my head to kind of meet her eye to eye.
So you're gonna let her do that first before you guys?
I'll just it was a deal.
Okay.
She said I would give her what she wants to paint to kind of get this out of the way, and then she'll try.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I think this is the first. Yeah, this is the first.
It's like the first roll of the night. It's more of an RP session again.
Wow, with a +5, that is a 7.
Okay.
2 + 5.
Okay. Oh boy. So you make eye contact with Win, and everything around you, the sounds of the other patrons chatting, the crackling of the fireplace, the smell of fresh bread and stew, The feeling of even being sat in these mismatched chairs that Wynn keeps in the common room, everything around you falls away. And the only thing that you can perceive is Wynn's eyes. And as you look into them, the dark within her pupils stretches and becomes immense, and you find yourself looking into a void. And yet within that void, there's something that ego can sense is both dark and lovely. This power that Wynn has, you see it for what it is. It is a curse, but there's also a blessing there. This compulsion that she has allowed her, albeit against her will, to perceive the world in a way that is pure art, without any other sense attached to it of self, of community, society, morality, everything that is what it means to be human is stripped away, and the only thing that is left is the sense of creation. And then you are hurtled beyond that. And you feel the sensation of the thorns that grow out of your chest writhing. You feel them sprouting further and further, growing more and more as you are absolutely mesmerized by her gaze, completely locked in and unable to look away. And that sensation, the only other sensation that comes to be out of this is that of your flesh being pierced and stretched as these thorns and vines grow out of you and begin to envelop more and more of your torso, and you feel these long spiked tendrils then begin to crawl down your sides, wrap themselves around your hips, and you feel them crawl down further, wrapping around your thighs, your knees, your calves, down to your feet, up your body, or clawing around your neck, reaching up down into your throat, and you are enveloped by thorns. And for the first time, you become aware of what it is everybody else has seen of you in your dreams. That thing that compels the beings of your dreams to be overwhelmed with grief is finally in sight. And in this void of creation, within the ball of thorns, is a man. Withered, old, hunched. Head in his hands, and you just hear him sobbing softly. What would you like to do?
Can I only observe him, or have the thorns wrapped around me and now there is a me inside of here? Do I have control of my body in this sense?
You have control over your body. The thorns are still wrapped around you, but you have control over your own body. And in pondering this, you realize that you also have control over this man.
Oh. Is it if I move, does his body move as well, or does it feel like two separate bodies?
Unclear.
I try to walk a bit closer, and because the thorns in my throat make it raspy and quiet, I will try as loud as I can, which is not very loud, to ask, "Who are you?"
Roll a Constitution check. I feel like that's like the only one that's truly just like the power of your own body, not in strength, but just in like ability to persevere.
9.
You attempt to speak, but you feel the scratching of the thorns, and as you go to speak to him, they pierce into your throat, and no sound is able to come out. And you are just left there with the sight of this man hunched over and sobbing. Roll a perception check.
The dice aren't with me, Victoria. It's another 9.
I mean, you
Yeah.
have the D6. You have the Bardic.
We also have a reroll.
You do have a player. There is a player reroll from the chat.
Let me just try the 6. Let me try the 6 because I still have other ideas. Okay, it's a 3 on the D6, which is average, so it brings it from a 9 to a 12 on the perception.
So, looking at this man, you're not able to get a clearer look at his face, but you do notice 2 things. One, he is wearing a style of armor that is very unfamiliar to you. It does not look like anything that you have seen in your time in the Feywild, nor does it look like any of the types of armor, like the typical styling of both like blacksmithing, metalworking, and like just like design that you would see on the villagers or any kind of like soldiers or guards where you are from. So his armor is very alien to you. You also notice that there is like dried blood on his breastplate. But you can only see, like, because you're kind of like looking at him from the side, you can only see that there are like flecks of dried blood. You're not able to see if there's a wound somewhere or some other source of blood.
Okay.
You begin to hear a very faint, high-pitched note.
How far away am I from him?
15 feet.
Doesn't require verbal components. Can I cast minor illusion to
Okay.
have a little scroll unravel with the words on it? Who are you?
Sure. Yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah, so... Bro, what is... You cast your magic out and create this scroll in front of him. Unclear whether or not he sees it, because it kind of sits there for like the minute that you have to have it exist there, and then it goes away. And through that, you don't see any sort of like change in his mannerisms or behavior, and you continue to hear his like soft, hoarse sobbing. After a few minutes, you see his hands go down and he hangs his head. You're still not able to see his face, but he puts his hands over his chest. And you hear him like whisper something. Roll a perception check to see if you're able to hear it. Because it's very, very quiet.
17.
You are able to hear what he says. And as he... Whoa. Put you guys back up. It takes you a second to process the words because it was so quiet. But eventually you realize that what he said was, I am you. and he drops his hands down and lifts his head. And you see two things before you are ripped from this place. One, the face of this man is very average, very plain. There's a little bit of like a rustic country boy like handsomeness to it, but he's otherwise very unassuming. His eyes are red, his cheeks are tear streaked, and he looks gaunt and hollow and worn. And you don't even need an insight check to know that you are looking at a man who is so racked with grief that he has lost all sense of self. This man has nothing and no one other than his own grief, which is continuing to sustain him. The second thing that you see as he drops his hands to his sides where he kneels is that in his armor, a massive hole has been ripped open, and that hole continues in through his flesh and bone. And you can see into his chest cavity, and where there would be a heart, there is nothing but a ball of thorns. And that's the last thing that you see before you are ripped out, as that very faint high-pitched note rapidly grows, and you realize that it is the sound of wind screaming. You are suddenly launched back into your body here in the tavern, and immediately every sense hits you at once. You can smell all of the food, you hear the crackling of the fire, the voices of everybody around. It's a cacophony of sensory overload. And on top of it all, Wynn is absolutely screaming. And as you look upon her, she is like seizing. She is no longer painting or drawing in any way. There's a little bit of foam like coming out of the corner of her mouth, and she falls out of her chair and like goes completely rigid and eventually just stops screaming, but her face is locked in this visage of pure horror. Octavian immediately like had been like, Win, and as she falls over, he like springs up and like is trying to like get her into like a safe position to like lay, and is like trying to like put something in her mouth. I think you're actually not supposed to do that when someone has a seizure, but like he doesn't fucking know. He's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Everybody around like goes silent and is like looking at what's going on. The captain like shoots up the transaction that was just concluding between Moby Richard and Aurum. Like he's like, okay, like I'm gonna go talk to my friends, and Richard's like, all right. They shake on it. He's like about to head out of the room, and so Aurum, like literally you're about to close the door to the common room when there's just this like ear-piercing scream coming from within the room from where Ego was sitting. And everybody is like freaking out. Black Donald is just like smiling uncomfortably.
Ego is like saying like, I'm sorry. I warned her. She asked me to do it. I told her that she shouldn't. And I run away.
Okay.
Out of the inn.
Oh, you're fully going outside. Okay. Yeah.
I leave my hat.
You do leave your hat. Your hair is flowing in the breeze. And I think that is where we are going to close things out for the evening.
Oh, no.
A lot of like information gathered, weird shit happening, lots of bargains struck and deals made. But the fate of Wynn, the magically compelled artist, as well as Ego, and the belt of Hill Giant Strength that is in limbo as Aurum tries to scrounge up some fey money. We will leave those until next week.
I got the belt. I didn't get the bean.
I'm sorry, it's the beans. I meant the fucking beans.
And thanks for the raid, by the way.
It's the B word. They're basically the same thing. Beans, belts.
Beans and belts. Beats and belts. Beats and belts.
It would be interesting if he had a bag of beets instead of a bag of beans. Also, yes, thank you for the raid. Live and Let's Die. How's your game going? We just gave an NPC severe trauma. But otherwise, I mean, there was some kissing on cheek. Some information was shared about Saoirse's curse. Aurum has a belt of hill giant strength now.
Hell
He's
yeah.
about to beef the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You have, however, come and when we are like concluding for the evening, because it's getting to be Betty Bye time. We are 51 minutes past pumpkin time for me, and I'm starting to get a migraine. So I'm gonna conclude before I lose all vision in my left eye.
Probably a smart idea, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you as always to my players for joining me for these weird fae stories and adventures. Thank you to those of you who are watching both now and in the future. Thank you for the raid. We love having you here, and we would love to see you here again. So feel free to come back or check out some of our old episodes on YouTube. Or don't. I'm not in charge of your life. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp. Thank you to Cardboard Castle Games. Check out our Discord. Subscribe to our YouTube. Kristy, am I missing anything?
No, that's pretty much covers it.
Tomorrow night is episode 2 of our new campaign run by
Yeah.
DM Michael for
Yeah.
Fandelver and Below.
Below,
Right?
Shattered Obelisk.
The Shattered Obelisk. Yeah, so if you want to get into a story that is only almost 2 episodes in as opposed to like 60 where we are, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to say it starts at like 7 or 8 Eastern.
7.
7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So yeah, we would love to see you there. I will probably be very rowdy in the chat and hand out a crap ton of gifts because
Hell
that's what I
yeah.
like to do. And then if we don't have any other announcements, let's see. The next time you are bargaining with a weird Randy Archfey to try to spy on your soon-to-be court but current parents' court about what the fuck is going on and why all the power there is getting wonky, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Hey.
And we'll be back here probably next week.
Yeah. GGBBs. Love you, bye.
Love you,
Love you, bye.